Hello friends, I hope you're all doing well. So we have a little book haul to share. I went to the bookstore with my mom and we got some books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more books, and I spent $60. So that's awesome. So yeah, I'm going to share them with you. I got all new authors except one, authors that I haven't read before. And so that's really good. They're all in the like psych thriller -1. So let's go ahead and get into it. I just want to share them with you. As always, you can I've decided that like, obviously if I haven't read it, don't spoil it in the comments. But like, if we're talking about something that I've read, you know, sure, the spoil. I was trying to figure out if I cared that much about spoilers in the comments, but anyway, this is a classic, and it was $3.50, and it's a little short story. And I heard, you know, it's kind of like one of those literary classics that people should read. The Postman Always Rings Twice. I never read it. Me and my mom were sitting in there, and they had a couple of these, $3.50, and so I bought one, and she got one as well. So we can read this. I have no idea what it's about, but I hear references to it, and like in movies and things like that. And I was like, well, we'll do that. We'll read it. It's a quick read. All right. And then one from my girl, Frida McFadden. Now, I could have gotten this cheaper, $6.50, but I like having her books, Frida McFadden. So this is The Housemaid's Wedding, a short story. Yeah, the Housemaid series. I have not read the third book of the Housemaid series. I need to get on that. So this one I'll read a little bit later, but I like Frida. I've read other stories from her, so pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Now all the rest are, again, just like weird stuff that I picked up, and again by authors I haven't heard of, or haven't read. So this is The Family Across the Street by Nicole Trope. I got that. And it says, sometimes the most perfect families are hiding the most terrible secrets. How well do you know the people next door? Yeah, weird family across the street. I'm into that. We don't even need to we're gonna find out what's wrong with that family across the street. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit quick, but I love to share. This one, Somebody's Daughter, by David Bell. I hope it's good. This one, I read the back of this and I was like, oh yes. So this guy's ex-wife shows up on his doorstep and was like, hey, I have a 10-year-old daughter. It's yours. I never told you about her. And now she's missing. Help me. And yeah, he has to, and is she lying? She's telling the truth? I don't know, but we have that. All of my books were used. This was $3.75. This was $2.95. The Family Across the Street. So I got some really good deals. Okay, this one seemed weird as well. Mr. Tender's Girl, and it was $3.75. And reading the back of it, it looks like this girl, she was attacked by 2 of her classmates, and their defense was that they were sacrificing her for Mr. Tender. Y'all remember Slender Man, like in real life, like those 2 girls that like killed somebody for. I feel like it's that kind of vibe. But then like it says over a decade later, she's trying to heal, but someone's watching her and she don't know what's going on. Mr. Tender. $3.75. That'll be fun. That's gonna be fun. I'll keep the duplicates for last. This one, We'll Never Tell, $4.95. So this one is about a young lady. It says she's a man stealer, and she always wins. She steals people, men, and then some friends set her up to teach her a lesson, and, you know, like to humiliate her. But it says, unexpectedly, the events turned deadly, and then the 3 women found themselves facing new rules. Don't mention what happened, protect each other, and tell no one. But then it says, yet when a murderer comes calling, they each discover the rules are meant to be broken. Giving me a little bit of I know what you did last summer. Okay, so that's what we got going on here. So grab that. Okay. I heard good things about Janelle Brown. So I got this one, Watch Me Disappear. And basically it's a father and daughter who lost the mom. The mom died, but her body wasn't found. So I guess she was says from a trail, a hiking trail. Anyway, body wasn't found. And then the daughter starts having visions of her mother. And then the father has like, what was it? The father starts revealing secrets and they think the mom might still be alive. I don't know. I have a type. I have a thriller addiction. It's nice if there's a murder thrown in. So anyway, Watch Me Disappear is what, maybe she just disappeared on her own. Was this the one that I put because it was like, no, maybe I put it away. I don't remember. Anyway, moving on. All right. This, I thought I had some by her. But I don't. This is $4.95. This is by Rachel Hawkins. This is The Wife Upstairs. And I grabbed one of hers. Like, she has a lot of books as well. But this one is a woman, she meets a widow. The wife, the widower, his wife drowned in a boating accident. And, you know, okay, she's going to get her man. Yeah, it just says, so I don't know if it's like, it says a gothic thriller. Oh, okay. As Jane and Eddie fall for each other, Jane is increasingly haunted by the legend of Bee, an ambitious beauty with a rags to riches origin story who launched a wildly successful Southern lifestyle brand. That's the dead wife. How can she, plain Jane, ever measure up? And can she win Eddie's heart before her past or his catches up to her? We'll see. But I really wanted to read one of hers. I gotta get to it. Oh, hi. My cat walked in. Okay. Queen of Suspense. My mom told me Mary Higgins Clark. Anyone ever heard of her? I know I know y'all have. I know I'm the one that hasn't. So I grabbed two of hers as the Queen of Suspense because it was $2.75 and then $1.95. Yeah, so this is about a best friends move to New York and one of the best friends disappears and then their body's found and they looking for a killer. All right, we're looking for a killer there. This is Loves Music, Loves to Dance. That is that book. And then this one is what's it called? As Time Goes By. I got it because it was $1.95. Something about a plea deal and a murder. Really saw $1.95 and I was like, I will get it to read it. So we have that. That's Mary Higgins Clark. And then Sandra Brown. My mom told me about her as a good thriller writer. She does a lot of like crime, cop type of stuff, which I read a lot of James Patterson, the Alex Cross series. He's like a detective or whatever. It's fine. But I realize I do prefer when like a just average citizen is trying to solve something. Maybe they're accused of it or like something's just not right and like the police aren't listening to them. Like I like that type of story, but I don't mind a good detective case. I don't mind a good defense criminal prosecutor case. Anyway, so this is Sandra Brown, Unspeakable. Which one is this? And my mom says she does sometimes romance as well. But all I did was read the first line. Carl Herbold is a cold-blooded psychopath who has just escaped the penitentiary where he was serving a life sentence bent on revenge. He's going back to where he began. And then Anna Corbett fights to keep the ranch. She's deaf and lately widowed, and she's fighting to keep her ranch. Of course, they're going to cross paths. Unspeakable. So it's gonna be a lot of words in there. All right, and then I had three from Sandra Brown. The next one is called Lethal. She can write. This one's a little bit larger print, so that's good. This first paragraph. When Honor Gillette's 4-year-old daughter, Emily, informs her that a sick man is lying in their front yard, Honor rushes from her house to help him, but the sick man turns out to be Lee Coburn, accused of murdering 7 men in cold blood the night before. Deadly, desperate, and armed, he promises Honor that she and her daughter won't be hurt as long as she does as he acts. Yeah, it's a lot more to read, but $3.95. I am going to set a very childish yet ambitious goal. I say childish because I don't know if I'm gonna take it seriously, to read everything on my TBR list from this moment by the end of 2026, which is probably about 50 books. I don't think that's hard. That's a book a week. I just said it out loud, so now I gotta do it. And the last one from Sandra Brown is called Fat Tuesday. There's this cop who his partner died, his marriage is over, his career is over, and so he focuses on his nemesis, and he tries to kidnap his nemesis wife, but then he falls in love with her. So this is called Fat Tuesday by Sandra Brown. Yeah. And then finally, these two hardbacks, we got $6.25, $6.25. Fiona Barton. I like books that remind me, like when I look at the title, I told you guys, I think to start with the, I don't know what that is. I guess it reminds me of Frida McFadden books. But anyway, I picked up this one first, The Child, by, like I said, Fiona Barton. And it says, what was it? Okay, yeah, a tiny baby, like a tiny skeleton was found on like an old house was demolished. And Kate is the investigator, right? Or she's a journalist. Hold on, I'm reading. Yeah, she's a journalist. But yeah, and then there's a past, there's weird stuff and stuff going on. And I was like, okay, whatever, enough for me to pick it up. The Child. And then on the front it says, praise, best-selling author of The Widow. And I found The Widow. And I was like, okay. And then this one, when the police started asking questions, Jean Taylor turned into a different woman, one who enabled her and her husband to carry on when more bad things began to happen. But that woman's husband died last week, and Jean doesn't have to be her anymore. Yeah, there's a lot Jean hasn't said over the years about the crime her husband was suspected of committing. She was too busy being the perfect wife, standing by her man while living with the accusing glares and the anonymous harassment. Now there's no reason to stay quiet. There are people who want to hear her story. They want to know what it was like living with that man. She can tell them that there were secrets. There always are in a marriage. The truth, that's all anyone wants. But the one lesson Jean has learned in the last few years is that she can make people believe anything. Jean ain't no good. So anyway, I'm excited. I don't know what I'm going to read next. Currently, I am reading, and I'll have this done this week, because I didn't read for like two and a half weeks. And that's okay. 3 weeks, probably. I had my conference. I was traveling for work, which you'd think you'd read, but I slept. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. That's where I am, and it's getting good. I'm about a third of the way through. Keeping my attention. So that is my book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any, questions or whatever, let's chat in the comments. If you've read any of these, don't spoil it, but tell me, give it a rating, 1 through how many stars. Yeah, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.